I walk in the shadow of death, 16 men on a dead man's chest. Your host this evening, Mr. H.O.T.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of the Curtis Zone. I'm your host, Dylan J. Curtis, and as you know, today we're doing an episode on the upcoming characters of Street Fighter. We are asked ourselves, who's your favorite upcoming character of Street Fighter? I can't wait to tell you guys. Now, there's no news today because this is going to be a long episode. There's a lot of characters that we got to go over who are going to be in the upcoming Street Fighter movie. Let's get started, ladies and gentlemen. But before we get started, as always, remember to hit the like and subscribe button as well as that share button if you want more from the Curtis Zone, if you want to see more of me, and of course more of my bouncing pecs, ladies and gentlemen. This is going to be a great day. Let's get started. Before we get started, let's talk about the characters who are not going to be in Street Fighter. Those characters are as follows. You have Jun, Rashid, DJ, and of course there's Sagat. The first two characters who are making their third live-action debut, but their second silver screen debut, it's going to be Ryu and Ken, who are going to be portrayed by Andrew Koji and Noah Centineo. Ryu and Ken both trained together under the eye of Gouken Sensei, and when that happened, the two of them became an unlikely friendship. This is due to the fact that Ken was brought to the dojo because he got into way too many fights at school, and Ken's dad couldn't necessarily watch over Ken while at the same time running his business, Masters Construction. So he sent Ken to Gouken Sensei to train with Ryu. Over time, the two of them developed a very close relationship, and Ryu was even the best man at Ken's wedding and his godfather to Ken's son. The two of them are masters of Sensei no Hado, being experts with hand-to-hand combat and chi blasts, making them very strong, very powerful characters. Another one of Gouken's apprentices who is making her third live-action debut, it is Chun-Li. Chun-Li was Gouken's student, and she is more powerful than Ryu and Ken due to the fact that she's faster than the two of them. She has the strongest kicks in all of Street Fighter, possibly all of video games. This is due to the fact that Chun-Li has had more training under the eye of Gouken Sensei than Ryu and Ken. Also, Chun-Li can manipulate her chi magic as well. This is her third live-action debut because she was in the first Street Fighter film, then she was in Street Fighter of The Legend of Chun-Li, and now she's going to be in Street Fighter, in this new Street Fighter. The person playing her, I do not want to butcher her name, so I'm not going to mention it, okay? Okay? Yeah, alright. Lead actor Vidyad will be portraying the role of Dhalsim. Dhalsim, who has been one of Street Fighter's most prized characters ever. Dhalsim was once a scientist who used to accidentally work with M. Bison on a very deadly project. However, he found that M. Bison was using the project for evil, and so he retreated into India and mastered yoga. And then, while mastering yoga, the man learned how to stretch every part of his body, and he even learned how to blow fire, my friends. Dhalsim is the most enlightened and most spiritual character in the Street Fighter franchise, and we are happy to have him. And he's making his second live-action debut. I can't wait to see him. Another character making his second live-action debut, it is Colonel William Guile. He's being portrayed by WWE superstar Cody Rhodes. And Cody Rhodes, in a recent interview, has stated that he did his own stunts for the role of Colonel Guile. And he even learned kickboxing for Colonel Guile. Colonel Guile, who is known as the King of the Air Force, is one of the most famous characters in Street Fighter due to the fact that not only was he played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, but in the Street Fighter animated series, he was the number one character. Colonel William Guile is an expert in kickboxing, wrestling, and chi magic as well, being known for his amazing sonic boom and his double somersault kick. However, he also has his flat top, but nobody can get that going, my friends. I can't wait to see Cody Rhodes bring the character to life. I hope that everyone's excited for that as I am. Another WWE superstar making his silver screen debut, it will be Roman Reigns, who will be portraying the role of Akuma. Akuma, whose real name is Gouki and is the younger brother of Gouken, and Gouken being the master of Ryu and Ken, who are the masters of Satsue no Hado. However, Akuma became really obsessed with the darker side of Satsue no Hado, and eventually branching out against his older brother. This would eventually lead to him sacrificing pieces of his humanity and becoming the master of the Dark Hado. A Dark Hado that was almost used by Ken until Goki stopped him. So yeah, I can't wait to see Roman Reigns bring that character to life. The rapper 50 Cent will be portraying the role of Balrog. Balrog was once a dirty boxer. Growing up in a bad neighborhood, he had to learn how to fight in order to better himself. And because he was such a dirty boxer, Shadaloo recognized his skill and eventually recruited him into the world of Shadaloo. During the time, he would become M. Bison's top enforcer, being the most skilled fighter ever. M. Bison would report him as an enforcer and sending him on different assassination missions as well. This was until M. Bison's death and the destruction of the psycho energy that Balrog wanted to get with Birdie. But a lot of things go astray. Eventually, M. Bison would come back and die again, then come back, and then while doing so, he would keep recruiting Balrog over and over and over again. But Balrog is straight up just enforcer, not 110% villain. Those of you who do not know, 50 Cent will be portraying him, and 50 Cent has had a promising acting career ever since he stopped rapping. He was in the series Power, he was also in Expendables 3, and now he's going to be in Street Fighter. I can't wait to see him. The South African musician Orville Peck will be making his debut in Street Fighter as Vega. Vega, the matador / ninja, trained under the eye of a great ninja master after also learning how to bullfight. However, after seeing his stepfather kill his mother, this warped his psyche after he killed his stepfather. And this would drive him to commit many mass murders, and eventually gaining the eye of Shadaloo, who hired him as an enforcer alongside Sagat. This is impressive because not a lot of bullfighters are also enforcers. He is the most unique bullfighter ever because he combines bullfighting with ninjutsu. This makes him incredibly good at martial arts. So yeah, I'm pretty sure I can't wait to see him. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I can't wait to see him. The Taiwanese / Australian actress Mel Johnson will be portraying the role of Cammy in the Street Fighter movie. Cammy, who is and always will be a friend of Colonel Guile. This was after she was brainwashed by M. Bison, by his psycho energy, in order to get her on his side. This is due to the fact that he wanted her to be his next body. She was going to be used as M. Bison's next body, and one of her assignments that M. Bison gave to her was to assassinate Dhalsim. This is when we first meet her in Street Fighter Alpha 3. However, she would see M. Bison would send Vega in order to kill Cammy because Dhalsim had used his spiritual energy in order to save her from M. Bison's psycho mind control. It was pretty impressive to see. Cammy is an expert with fighting, and I cannot wait to see her in the Street Fighter movie. I don't know about the rest of you guys, but I cannot wait to see her. The next character who will be making his second silver screen debut is Blanca, and Blanca will be portrayed by none other than Jason Momoa, Aquaman himself. Jason Momoa has stated in an interview that he cannot wait to play the character because it's one of his favorite characters. Blanca himself is the monster of Street Fighter, being experimented on by M. Bison in order to create the perfect soldier. He would lose his memories after he would also lose his family. He lost his family in a plane crash when he was young, and he would be forced to grow up in the wild. But Blanca would eventually find his mother and eventually go back to her village and learn all sorts of mannerisms that he had already learned, or relearn them, if you will. And Blanca would eventually leave his mother in order to compete in the next tournament with his friends Dan and Shuri. This would lead Blanca to meet other characters such as Guile, Ryu, Ken, Chun-Li. The list goes on, ladies and gentlemen. And he would eventually join Guile's side against M. Bison. The next character making his second live-action debut, it is E. Honda. He will be played by Japanese sumo wrestler Hiroyuki Gato. Hiroyuki Gato is a Japanese professional wrestler who has won many collegiate titles, and he will be portraying the role of E Honda. E Honda, who trained his entire life to become the best sumo wrestler in the world. He defeated a very powerful enemy, and he went out into the world in order to promote sumo wrestling amongst the rest of the world. And while doing so, he would eventually come up against characters such as Kami, Ryu, and Ken, and eventually going up against the criminal organization Shadaloo in the next tournament. In order to promote sumo wrestling, he fought and won against a powerful enemy named Ryu, of course, but he did not win the tournament at all. He is a very strong sumo wrestler, and he went up against Zangief in multiple fights, and the two of them went against a fight in a fight that was so deadly that it destroyed an entire Shadaloo base because they're both so large. I mean, come on. That was pretty awesome. I can't wait to see E Honda. There's one more character I want to talk about making his live action debut. It is Dan Hibiki. Dan Hibiki is one of the trainers, as one of the guys who was trained under the eye of Goken Sensei. This is after his father would be killed by Sagat, but his father put up a good fight against Sagat, and even gouging out Sagat's eye. Dan Hibiki would train under the eye of his father, who is a mixed martial artist, even though Dan Hibiki had a natural talent for it, he was not as good as his father. Eventually, he would seek out a lot of different dojos, eventually landing in the hands of Goken. But he would tell Goken of why he wanted to train, and Goken would banish him from the dojo because he didn't want another case like his father. Eventually, he would befriend the monster Blanca, and the rest is history. I can't wait to see him. I mean, come on, he's gonna be great. Thanks so much for joining me here on the Curtis Zone, ladies and gentlemen. I hope that you guys enjoyed this episode as much as I enjoyed making it. It's going to be a lot of fun on the next episode, so I hope that you guys are ready for that as well. I'll see you guys soon, all right? I got to go, but for right now, remember to hit that like button, that subscribe button, that notification bell, as well as that share button if you want to see more of me, my smiling face, and of course more of my bouncing pecs, ladies and gentlemen. And of course, remember that our giveaway contest is still going on. Only 3 people have qualified. So let's keep those going, all right? If you want that Double Dragon Revive game, you gotta keep watching. I mean, come on, keep watching, keep commenting, keep doing everything, okay? I'll see you guys soon. Peace.